Why did I do this to myself? Alright, well, so we really need an introduction. You read the title, so let's just kind of start off and see what we're working with. The faces I've drawn most recently are not great, to say the least.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the
But there's no point in being sad about it when I can ruin my passion for art by drawing 200 faces in one day. Originally, it was going to be 100, but I decided to double it. I don't know why I did that. I do want to focus a lot on side profiles because, oh my god, this was my most recent side profile. I think it speaks for itself. Anyway, it's 8:12 in the morning right now, and I'm hoping this won't keep me up past my bedtime, but we have all day, so without further ado, it's time to lock in. So this is our first face, and it took me about 3 minutes, which if we spent that for every face is 10 hours. My wrist is already cramping, and we've done one, but back to it. Alright, so it's 8:49 a.m. right now, and I've done 10 of the 200 faces, so we're 1/20th of the way there. It's not going well. I shouldn't have tried to make this video, but we're gonna see this toward the end because it's too late to stop now. One thing I've realized so far is that I'm doing a lot of chicken scratching, so I think I'm gonna try and stop that in the next 10 and see if maybe we can make some improvements that way. It's now 9:32 a.m. and I just finished number 20, and I'm gonna be so for real. I feel like we're going backwards. This is terrible. This is worse than what we started with. We're about an hour and 15 minutes in, according to the Ibis Paint time lapse, and that is so long for only being 1/10 of the way there. We have to speed up the process and get better along the way, so I'm gonna try to find a way to simplify each feature so we can do the faces in less time. I was really hoping that each face wouldn't take more than 2 minutes, but some of them have taken up to 5, it's just not good. I think the problem is that I'm spending too much time on the details, making the silhouette match the reference instead of capturing the shapes in the face. The references I picked for the next 10 are more extreme, with a lot of different facial expressions that I've never even tried to draw before, so this is not gonna go well. I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go on my phone and set a timer for 20 minutes, so it's really gonna be a race against the clock to finish them all in time. In order to do it, I'll be forcing myself to focus on the shapes, not the lines, so we can draw each one in 2 minutes or less, ideally. And that's 30. Post-game interview, I do think that went better. We're now 3/20ths of the way there. We're about an hour and 40 minutes spent so far, averaging out to 3 minutes per face. The issue we're having is I don't think I've improved at drawing faces so much as drawing faces badly but fast. I can definitely do it faster now, but they just still look ugly. That's not helpful. That's not improvement. Alright, it is now 10:36. We're gonna do 10 more in 20 minutes, and then I think we might cut the time even more. With those 10 done, we are at 1/5, 4/20ths of the way there. It took about 2 hours, which is why we really have to cut more time off, or this will take me 10 hours to make, and I don't want to do that. So it's now about 11. I'm gonna go eat lunch, really let the information settle in my brain, and then we'll resume. This is number 50, and I'm not crazy, right? It's getting worse. We're a quarter done now, and I think we're worse off than when we started. Don't worry, I'm still gonna see this through to the end, but I am significantly less optimistic about the results now. I've been doing some experimenting, doing different ages and features and such, but I am trying to stick a little bit to my preferred kind of person to draw, which is women. I am a women lover, so that is what I typically paint, but I am trying to branch out, so give me some credit. So here's the plan. I'm gonna find 10 more references, but this time we're only gonna do 10 minutes as opposed to 20. So 1 minute per face. I'm trying to speed this process up because I'm gonna be so for real. I hate this challenge. I cannot believe I made myself do this. We're a quarter done, so it's time to power through. So we've just hit 60. My wrist is killing me, and I am not even having a tiny little bit of fun. I've been trying to think of ways to make this more fun, but I can't think of any besides actually painting, and since this is a drawing video, I don't want to do colors. Right now, this is just repetition. I'm just drawing heads over and over again, and with no learning, we aren't going to improve. What I'd like to do is deconstruct the head into pieces so I can better understand how the face works in 3 dimensions. The problem with this is that the absolute shortest time it would take me to do that is 3 minutes, and that's being very generous. For reference, if we just look at the time-lapse length, we are 2.5 hours in with only 60 heads. That's a really long time. We would have to do more than 3 times that. Of course, we would get faster eventually, but trying to do this in one day means spending time that I don't have. Alright, so I was just watching a video about head and face construction, and here's what we're gonna do for, say, the next 20 heads. We're gonna build the head instead of drawing it. I'm still gonna be using references, but I'll be using construction lines and proportion lines to make everything look not like this. I'm gonna be doing 2 minutes per head again for these. Little twist, I'm only using 5 references total because I'm really sick of Ibis Paint's reference window situation. Okay, and that's 80. It's 1:52 p.m. and we're less than half done, but I do feel like we're starting to see a little bit of improvement. Just a tiny amount, and I don't even know if that will translate over to painting because all I've done is drawn ugly faces really fast. But now I'm still drawing fast and they're a little bit less ugly, so we'll see. I do think drawing just those 5 faces a couple times each was helpful because it really let me think of the head as a 3D form, not a structure of lines. I'm doing a lot less chicken scratching for sure. You can really see a difference in that regard. I think I'm going to continue using just a few references each time and doing 2 or 3 drawings of each one. I don't know if this is the best, but we have seen the most improvement using this method so far. We're gonna switch the references though. We're about 3.5 hours in, so let's keep going. Alright, and there's 100, halfway done. Oh god, that hurts. It's been about 4 hours now. Okay, well, I am gonna take a well-deserved break because everything hurts, and then we'll continue. It is 2:33 p.m. right now for reference. Let's get back into it. It is 3:15 p.m. Ideally, I'd like to be done by dinner time, so like 5 p.m.-ish, but I do not think that's going to be possible. So here's what we're going to do for the next, say, 20 faces times 4 for the different facial features. We're going to be focusing on different aspects of the face so we can improve in smaller areas bit by bit. I think I'm going to start with the lips because that's what I feel most comfortable drawing, and then maybe the nose, eyes, and finally ears and eyebrows together. I'm going to be drawing the whole face, just focusing on those areas each time. I'm going to be using the same references from earlier since I have about 60 saved on my iPad by this point. Alright, well, no time to waste. And there's 120! I don't know what possessed me to think this video was a good idea. At this point, I'm just hoping maybe it will pop off and get like 100 views, maybe? Anyway, I don't think the lips went too well. I don't think I improved that much of them, but to be honest, I was already fairly confident in how I draw and sketch lips before this video. Yes, I can still learn a lot about the anatomy and like muscles of the lips, but drawing each face in less than a minute makes that so hard. There's 140. We've been at it for about 5 hours and 15 minutes now. Not a lot to say about the noses. Honestly, I think it's just a less is more thing. Trying to add too much detail makes them look bad, so the least amount of lines you can use, the better. It is currently 4:36 p.m. We are 7/10 of the way done, so let's keep going. Time skip, it is 6:16. I have just 60 left, just 60 left, just 60 left, just 60 left. I really need to lock in. I hate this challenge so much, and I can't believe I thought this was a good idea. Anyway, not a second to waste, so let's get back into it with 20 more, focusing on the eyes next. As we hit 160, I was pretty much just making them ugly on purpose. I know that sounds like extreme copium, but it was just like you could not pay me to care. I was done. That's 160. I want this to be over. We're most of the way there. We got 40 left, chat, and then I'll be free from my self-imposed challenge that I could quit at any point if I wanted. But I won't, because I'm not a quitter. I want to see this through to the end. There is 180. It is 7:56 p.m. and we are 6.5 hours in. That hurts to think about. We have just 20 left. There's 190. We're in the home stretch, chat, and then I can finally go to bed. And there is 200. For that one, I used the same reference as the first one, and here is the difference between the two. I'm gonna be so honest. I think I just threw away a day of my life. The progress is not there. If we look at the first and last one, the last one looks a bit better in terms of features, but the chicken scratching! I think we hit the peak of improvement at about 100. This is my favorite one. Well, I've spent about 8 hours in Ibis Paint today, and it is currently 9:08 p.m., meaning it took just under 13 hours of my day for all 200 of these faces. Now my wrist hurts, my hip hurts. That's not related to drawing. I just thought I would share. Listen, I hate asking people to like and subscribe, but this is a whole day of my life I'll never get back. Granted, it was a Monday, which probably wouldn't be wanted back, but the point still stands. Would I recommend this challenge to anyone? Hell no. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Goodbye. I found this video on Canva when I was editing, And I have no idea what this is. This is a completely silent video. I have no idea what that guy is saying, but it's so funny, so I'm putting it in.